Oh, Zara.
All right, go ahead, do it again.
That's so
Thank you
nice.
for thank you for joining thank you for joining the Master Show. Subscribe, live, share, and
Comment.
comment.
All right, let me kiss.
Mwah.
All right, go ahead. Okay.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye. All right. So yeah, that's my daughter. She's a handful. Okay, yeah. So she already gave the introduction. Joining me today is Natalie Henry and Faith, because we all need faith in life. Faith is hope, and hope is what we live for so we can progress in our life. So yeah, joining us today is our special guest is Faith. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for
Um,
having me.
you're welcome. Could you tell us about yourself, Faith?
Well, my name is Faith. I currently am the owner of Credos Global Group, a management group here in Hollywood, Florida. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm everything.
Oh, you come fully assembled. Like that's what I call fully assembled. Like
Yeah.
when a woman is fully assembled, she got the whole nine. The only thing she needs is just a companion. But you're married. Shout outs to you on that. How long you been married now?
7 years
Oh, damn, 7 years.
on the second one.
Oh, cool, cool. Likewise myself. I've, I've been married 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
How's family?
Pardon?
How's family?
Family's good. I have all adult children. My youngest is about to be 19 in a couple months. So yeah, unlike you, I'm ready for grandkids.
Oh, I'm not ready for any of that yet.
Wait
Still
a
I'm
trying.
waiting
minute.
for Natalie to give me some
Ready for
godchildren.
grandkids because I haven't started yet. So slow down, child. Slow down.
Okay,
I'm waiting
okay,
on
okay.
Natalie to get me some godchildren too.
All right. I'm gonna let Natalie kick it away, and then I'll follow up. Go ahead, Nat.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you guys for joining us on the Emancipate Show. And to this month, we are highlighting Women's Month, and we are highlighting women in business this month. And again, we are joined by Faith, and Faith is actually a business partner of mine. Together, we are here to empower women in business and to show them, that you can't do it alone. You need a community, you need a support system. And that's what we do for each other. Even though what we do is kind of like similar in nature, but there are certain people that I won't be able to reach, and there are certain people that she won't be able to reach. And even with those people that I do work with, there are certain things that I know that she's best at doing that than I am. So, and she knows vice versa. So we,
Yes,
instead of trying
absolutely.
to, do everything,
Pass
we
it
work
on.
with each other,
Yeah,
so that we could get the job done well in the right way. And that's what we do.
absolutely.
Okay, okay. So, how did you start it off in the business, Faith?
Actually, it kind of like just landed in my lap. I retired officially in 2019, and I had an artist that reached out to me to kind of just help him as a friend to manage him. And just from doing that, I got, hooked up with Natalie. That's how I met Natalie, actually. That's how we first met. And then just from that, it transitioned into other people reaching out to me. And so I've been helping artists now for almost 2 years. And just recently, I had people that knew that had, like Natalie says, good management skills, and they reached out to me to help them with their businesses. So I kind of expanded my company to doing businesses, not just artists. So it kind of like it was coincidental. It was not in the plan when I retired. I retired and to just spend time with my children. I had no intention of doing something else, but God had other plans. So I'm just embracing it.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
Your line of expertise is what? Dancehall or what? How artists is your managers? Like what's the genre of music?
Okay, so I do gospel, and right now I have a couple that are hip hop, Christian rap, hip hop, and I have one that I am in talks with that actually is none of the above. He's dancehall, reggae dancehall. But like I tell people, as long as nothing interferes with my faith, I have no problem managing anyone, because we enter the deal knowing what my beliefs are. But management is something that's not necessarily hooked to a religion. So I'm able to manage because it's the skills that you bring to the table. So that's where we're at.
So I guess if like let's say like a Bounty Killer Beanie Man reach out, would that be a conflict of interest?
No, because the thing is that my faith is solid. So it would be up to them if it's going to be a conflict, because I'm not going to do anything that's going to interfere with my beliefs. And like I said, most times I've realized that with management, it's a book type thing. It's almost like doing a quiz. It's not leaning to one necessary religion versus the other. And so as long as they're comfortable knowing that I'm a Christian, I practice Christianity, and that's where I am, I'm good. I'm here to use my skills to help anyone to build whatever it is that they have going on.
Cool. So if you don't mind me asking, who's your first artist you actually manage?
The first artist I managed was Marlon Christie.
Christy.
Yeah.
Can you give me a song? I'm not familiar with the artist.
Natalie, give us a song. Which one of the songs that No Obeah Can't Come on My Yard is one of the ones that he did in Jamaica?
Yeah, and there's other things like World Gone Cheap,
Right.
Get the Roots. He did Reverence. Another one is man, I'm always listening to the songs.
Yeah, I drew a blank, right? Because the new album has quite a few remixes.
Quite a few of those. Another Day is one of my favorites too.
The World Gone Cheap is mine. No Obeah Man.
Lord, go before me, Lord.
Yes.
And Hallelujah.
Hallelujah is the, yeah. I drew a blank. I literally drew a blank. That's what age does to you.
Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's one of those artists where it doesn't matter what era of time he draws the music from, you won't be bored listening to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whether he pulls for an old hymn from the 18th century, or
right, exactly, or a new one, exactly.
Or a new one, you know,
exactly.
He knows how to flow across all genres of music, you know, using his gifts and talents to glorify God.
Absolutely.
Got you. So our topic today is empowerment. How can we go by empowerment people in our daily lives?
For me, it's how I live, right? I believe that your best way to empower someone else is just how you live. I believe that the glass is always half full, right? I look at it, it's never half empty. It's always half full. And for me, I use my social media platform to empower people just by maybe a thought in the morning, or if something happened and how I bounced back. You know, so for me, it's just how I live, my authenticity. What you see is what you get, you know, so, and like I tell Natalie all the time, and we both believe the same thing, there's enough success going on that we can support each other, right? You know, and I think a lot of people miss it. It's not a black and white issue. It's not, you know, what is your political affiliation? There's enough going around that we can just support each other, uplift each other. And, you know, in the end, we'll all benefit from it somehow.
Cool. How you empower people, Natalie?
Well, pretty much, in, you know, bouncing off what Faith said, you know, it's all about lifestyle and just understanding that, you know, whether you believe it or not, people are always watching you. So, you know, you have to be that person that even when you think that no one is watching you, you're constantly aware of the fact that what I do and what I say has an impact on someone's life. So whether I intentionally go to, you know, like encourage someone or motivate someone or put out a post on social media or write a book or produce a video or anything like that, I have to be conscious of the fact that, hey, people are always watching, and what I do can either encourage someone or it can, or it can discourage them. And that's how I live my life, So I always try to do my best in representing not just myself, but my faith well.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess everybody have a different idea of how they empowerment. You know how I empower my people, which they're just lacking in that department for some reason. Like if I see anybody they're selling clothes, they're selling makeup, they're selling anything they're selling, I'm the first nigga in the inbox.
Absolutely.
Do. Oh, so I see you selling XYZ, whatever. You mind coming on the show? Would you like to talk about it? Would you like to do a tutorial? Guess what happened?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's
absolutely.
Guess what happened?
It trickles on to other people.
No, nothing.
They don't want to come.
Really?
Nothing happens.
Because I think one of the reasons is that people tend to forget that you need a community, and community isn't just about where you live. Right. Community is about people of like mind and like vision coming together to be able to create an environment where they can help each other grow.
Listen, I'm the first person in your
Wow.
Tell me about your business. How long did you start it? How about you come on my program and you do a tutorial? Nothing.
Wow. And then they wonder why they don't grow. Then they wonder, it's not because nobody offered to help. It was just you were caught up in yourself and just,
Nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care what they're selling. As I will see, if I see somebody come up on my feeds, they're selling something, I'm talking about it. I cannot support you if you don't want to support yourself. So
absolutely.
If I'm going to put it on my Facebook page, some people are going to see it and then they're going to stroll past it. But if you detail what you're saying or what you're trying to sell or whatever, you get more wider variety of people to be like, oh, maybe this is something I need to look into. You're selling a soap. You're selling a soap. How does it work? You're selling a speaker. How does it work? You're selling a phone. You're selling clothes.
Absolutely.
I'm the first one, and I have a plethora of people that I be harassing.
Wow.
Come on, let's talk about it. Nothing.
Wow.
My people.
Wow. Well, Natalie and I talked about that today.
The last person I hit up was I met this I'm not care if they want to hear anyway because I'm
it's your show.
The last person I hit up was this lady I met. She's a Canadian lady, and she sells like she does like skin thing, whatever. And I spoke to her, and she just never got back to me.
That's okay. I'll follow up with you on that because I do makeup as well.
Cool. If you're selling, look, if you're selling something, whatever, right? And you cannot, you just have the ingredients, and you get more into it when you do a tutorial of it, right? So if I say, if you come on the show and I be like, how does this work? Tell me about it. Talk about it. What makes because my wife told me this, right? She's trying to do something for herself, right? And she says, Kelly, if you go in the bread aisle, right? What do you see in it? You see bread, but you got Wonder Bread, you got Whiz bread, you got
Sara Lee bread,
you got dry bread, you got hard dough bread, you got raisin bread, and she says all of these breads.
They're different companies.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's where community comes in, and that's what we're talking. That's what we're doing, and trying to gather people. Because yes, we do across the board. We could say we do the same thing, but like you said, they're all bread, but they're in the same aisle.
Yes,
absolutely.
But different bread.
different
Absolutely.
people have different tastes and what their preferences
Absolutely.
are, you know,
Right. And or even the ingredients,
Yes,
exactly.
you know?
right. And if you have sicknesses, if you're diabetic, they might have a diabetic bread.
Right.
If you got
Right.
high blood pressure, they got a high blood pressure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think one of the things too, because Natalie and I were talking about that today. I don't know if people, because I come across that sometimes, like I think people are under the auspice that if you offer to promote them or elevate them, that there's something that you expect from them. Like, I think people don't understand that there's actually genuine people out there that want to. Sometimes I talk to people and I'm like, you do know I don't expect anything from you in return, right? Like, I'm doing this because I can do this, right? You know, even on my page, sometimes people are like, oh, that's your artist. No. But they sent me an email, hey, can you tag my song on your page? I don't have a problem doing that. I listen to the song. It's good. It can go on my page. Like, I think people are just stuck in the me world. I can do it all by myself, you know? And then when they don't succeed, they say, oh, nobody was there supporting me. Yeah, but where are the Kellys that offered to speak to you and you shun them? Like, you know, did you forget that? You know, so I think people are just stuck in a different era for some reason.
I was talking to her about this today. I said one thing I like about the Chinese is this, right? The reason why they keep the money circulating in their community or amongst them is because they know the network. That means if they don't have it, they send it to Mr. Lou. And if Mr. Lou don't have it, they send it to Bruce Lee. And if Bruce Lee don't have it, they send it to John Luke. You know what I'm saying? And it just keeps going on and on. And if they don't have it, they say, you know what, don't worry about it. I take it.
I got it.
And you get it.
Yep. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's why the money keeps on with our money now. It's all over the place. We don't know. We say, you know, it's crazy. You know, I don't want to support the festival. Am I gonna make more money than me? We need to change that state of mind.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's bad.
Absolutely. And the Hispanics are the same way. They support each other. Like,
oh my, don't even talk about that.
Listen, if you are a Hispanic and you open a grocery store, Publix will never see your family members again. Even if you it, they won't buy it. And I've always said to people, I said, if you look at some cultures, like they'll have 10 people in the home just to make sure that everybody has a roof over their head, the light bill is paid. And sometimes you see a car pull up and you're like, how many people held in that? How many people came out of that car? We don't do that. We get to a place and we forget that, okay, you know, Kelly,
and the crazy thing is that we know this. This is not a secret. We know this.
Absolutely.
The whole Spanish people can bungle up in a one house, right?
Absolutely.
And everybody get along. But we can't do that.
Nope.
We can't help each other. We can't network. We can't get along.
Nope. No.
Why?
Catty. All right, Natalie and I talked about that today. Catty. Catty.
Yes, definitely. I think in general, people just gotta understand that we weren't built to, or we weren't created or designed to do life alone, whether it is relationship, you know, like marriage relationship, or, you know, we weren't designed to do life alone. You know, people help build people.
Yep.
And that's what we need to realize to understand, that people help build people, because it doesn't matter how great I am at graphics design, if I don't have people who needs my services,
what good is the word?
Exactly. You know,
right. Who are you going to help us?
Who am I going to sell my services to?
Right.
You know? So if we don't learn to build relationships, you know, and community, whether it is, you know, a community for graphics, for business, whether it's community, you know, just for church, or community for health issues, or community, you know, for, hey, I'm going through this situation and I don't really understand, but, you know, there's a community that I can be a part of with people who have been through that situation. You know, I could get moral support and I can be able, that's why they have stuff like AA, you know, ask me, but me personally, I don't think it worked because I can't go every day to declare that I am an alcoholic and expect to be covered from alcoholic. That's my personal opinion.
Right.
But that's
Right.
why you have communities like that.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
community.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
you have different communities, and once we realize that these communities aren't just for a certain class of individuals,
Right.
then we were able to understand. See, it's a system.
Yes. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a system that you have to model.
Right.
To be
Right.
able to accomplish what you need to accomplish, because everything in this life that is living has a system that's designed to help it to work and
Absolutely.
function properly. Your body alone has 12 different systems.
Yeah,
that help it to
absolutely.
function. So if
Absolutely.
our body has systems in order for us to function, everything we do has a system, and people don't grow because they fail to understand that, hey, there's a system that I need to implement in my life.
Absolutely.
And that goes across the board for everything.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So in what way can we women empower each other daily as it relates to family, relationship, and business individually? We go with you first, Faith.
For me, it's being open, right? I look like, okay, let's say health. I had a mastectomy last year, and I know like a lot of people, when I spoke about it, they were like, why did you talk? And I said, because when I spoke about it and I spoke about what my symptoms weren't, right? That's when a lot of people started going to the doctors to get tested. So I think being vulnerable is one of the ways that I choose to do it individually, right? Not necessarily putting my entire life out there, because like, you'll never see probably a picture of my spouse because he doesn't do social media. So I respect that. But as far as me uplifting others, is by me being authentic. So I choose to be like a mirror, like, or a glass that you can see through. I talk about the mistakes I make, because sometimes I think people think that you're at a place and you never made mistakes. I'll be the first to tell you the mistakes I made, even in starting a business. What mistakes did I make when I started? The thing is that you learn from those things, and just being authentic and making sure people understand, then people realize they can relate. They're like, oh, wow, that happened to me. Oh, really? And you're here? Yeah, I'm a cancer survivor. I did it twice. I'm here. You can do it. What did you do? So I think just having those conversations. Yes, I was divorced, but guess what? I didn't die and go to hell. God gave me a second chance. Right? I mean, my kids survived. My kids are beautiful human beings who love life. And, I would have thought 18 years ago when I got divorced that it was the worst thing I would have done. But I remember that, listen, I have a responsibility to my children. So, I always grew them up saying, listen, I did this, because I want you guys to know that this is how you're not supposed to live. So I think as long as we're willing to be authentic, we can empower anyone. And it begins at home. For me, it begins at home. I can't be out there empowering people and my kids are sitting here looking at me like, she having a conversation? Who is that person now? It starts at home. Yeah, it starts at home. My family will tell you, whatever I do publicly starts at home. Like, yeah. That's for me.
Natalie?
Yes. Well, for me, it's knowing and understanding that there are a lot of people already who don't believe in themselves.
Right.
So my job, I believe, is to help people to understand themselves and to be able to uplift them with even just saying just one word, or sometimes just listen. Because a lot of times, we talk to people and we don't realize that sometimes all they need is just for you to listen. They don't need your advice. They don't need, because when they talk things through, they're able to see and to identify where they are in the situation. So always, showing that support. If you're doing anything, I'm there to support you. If you accomplish a goal, I am like the first person. I'm like there celebrating you. Like, I was the one who had that accomplishment. So it's kind of like it's just be able to be there to show more support and to encourage, the person to do everything. You have a vision and you have a goal that you want to accomplish. That's great. How can I help you to do it? And this doesn't really necessarily have to do anything with business. It's just, personally, because a lot of times,
Absolutely.
I do a lot of work that is not paid work, as lawyers will call it, pro bono.
Right. Yep.
So people have
Right.
an idea that once you have a business, everything you do, you have to get paid for it. No.
No.
There- there's certain
No.
things you offer yourself. What you have
Absolutely.
to offer is a gift to the world.
Absolutely.
There are
Absolutely.
people who desperately need your help, but they can't afford to pay
Absolutely.
for what
Wow.
they need. So if you can be a blessing in that person's life, then go ahead and be that blessing, because
Absolutely.
you'll never know, down the road somebody
Absolutely.
will come, or they will remember, hey, when I had my situation, this person helped me, so now this
Absolutely.
person needs something to do, but that's a referral right there,
Right.
so
Right.
you have to realize that, we people and women in general, we beat ourselves up too much,
Absolutely. Yep.
and I don't need to be that woman who is always pulling down other women. I
Right.
need to lift women.
Put a crown on. Yep. Yep.
But,
Yep.
so
Yep.
that's how in a daily life, I choose to empower women.
Absolutely.
Let them know, hey, you got this, and you
Absolutely.
don't have to worry about it. There's
Absolutely.
somebody there that will support you.
Absolutely.
And that's just me.
Well,
And for me, I piggyback off of you, Natalie. For me, I am so glad that you touched on the doing things pro bono, because I think, even just last week I was talking to a girlfriend and she mentioned to me, she's like, yeah, I gave this lady like $400 to set up an LLC for me and I can't find the lady. And I said, what? I'm like, hold on. I said, you do know that that's what I do for a living, right? She's like, no. And she was threatening to throw her phone through the window because she couldn't believe. And I said to her, you did what? How much did you pay? I'm like, and where did you find this woman? But I think I'm guilty for that, because she said, Faith, you say that you have a management company, and we all thought it was just artists. Nobody knew that you were actually doing businesses and stuff. But just pouring into her, like putting her crown on, God gave her this vision for this company. And here's this woman that came and took $400 from a mother who's just starting. For me, I was like, no, I got you. And today when she emailed me, she says, I got the email from the state. My LLC is up. That for me is priceless.
Definitely.
Right? For me, it's priceless. And I tell her, I said, all you flyers, send them to me. I'll put them on my page for you. I'll promote you. Like, I don't have to get a cent from you to do that. That's not the way it goes,
Definitely.
I'm gonna show you something. Empowerment, right? When I think of the word empowerment, to me, it goes across the board. And maybe I'm gonna forget a few things when I say this, because it's a plethora of things that I would like to probably pack into what I'm trying to say. The support, right? People always say people don't support. People only support people that they know and they feel comfortable with, right? But when people say support, they're not supposed to support only the people that they know. They're supposed to support everybody.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. There's enough.
Right?
Absolutely.
You support everybody. Another
Absolutely.
thing, if you're kind, you're considered weak.
Yes.
And people like to play on that. You know what I'm saying? So, and when they play on that, they just be like, that nigga this up. So me know so me can't get. It's like this, right? All three of us have a job, right? Faith is irresponsible. Natalie party, me go work all the time. Now you have an outside friend we cool with all three away. No saying can't go to Faith, no saying can't go to Natalie, but he goes and say, you know what? Let me go to Kelly because he's an idiot. That's going to give me this loan for me to do what I need to do. Right? So if that's how people think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in order for us to help people, it don't take anything. It's like you said, me have a virgin, right? Him say him have him woman, whatever, right? And he's a rapper. I mean, I said she share all of them bullshit, yeah, other stuff, and it doesn't take anything to be like share one of your song them on a page, one song, right? So you say it starts in the home. It does start in the home, and if it starts in the home, it can go all over the
Absolutely.
place.
Yeah,
But
Absolutely.
the thing that gets me upset with people is when I see them send me all these garbage in my inbox, right? And I'm saying, you send me all this foolishness, but you never take 1 second to look at
Mhm.
anything that I've ever created to be like,
Absolutely.
let me just
Mhm.
share this. You know what
Definitely.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because as my friend, I have a friend that also have a podcast. He always say we don't take time out to educate ourselves. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Even if you don't listen to the person thing, subscribe.
That's the first thing. How do you know? That's the first thing I did when Natalie called me and said to me, "Hey, Kelly's gonna." That's the first thing when she sent me the link. That's the first thing I did. I subscribed to the page, even without listening to anything, because and even my son, he's 26. He came down and he's like, "What's the page?" And I was able to click on YouTube and said, "This is the guy." And he went to. So that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right,
It's not
right,
about gimme, 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 gimme,
right.
gimme.
One
You
more thing,
know.
one more thing I want to address, right? Which a lot of people is like this, right? If you ask somebody, if any one of us have a show, right? Let's say you have 10 subscriber, Natalie have 5 subscriber, I may have 2 subscriber. Guess who for sure them have a compound?
The one that have the most.
You see people way of thinking.
That's the
So
mentality.
it doesn't matter if it's one per if I was supposed to perform at a concert or something like that, right? And everybody was booing me, and my wife would cheer me. That's
That's all you
all I
need.
need.
Oh, yep.
All I need.
She's your cheerleader.
That's it. Just
I
one
think I found me
person.
a cheerleader.
Yeah, just one person. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's something that we're lacking. We just don't know how to support, but we know how to tear each other down.
Absolutely.
We're so good at
Absolutely.
that. Well, not me,
Absolutely.
because if I see somebody and I see them I do good, I'm like, maybe I could learn something from this person. Maybe I
Right.
need to draw close to him so I could learn a thing or two.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I'm
And I
saying?
think that's where parents have failed too. We teach our kids to compete and we don't realize what that teaching them to compete is one thing, but there is that healthy competition, right? So I think I was saying Natalie and I were talking about that today. So we weren't taught how to empower each other growing up. It wasn't intentional. Our parents did the best they could, but we as adults had to realize that, wow, I'm a woman of my word. I'm a woman who can bless another woman. What good is it going to do if I keep it all to myself? We just have a conversation today, and I'm like, we weren't taught that. So even as parents, we need to realize that it's more than just providing food and clothing and a roof over their head. It's what we're putting into them because that's the future.
Right.
That's when my daughter says to me, "Mom, I cook better than you." Guess what I tell her? Yes, I accomplished something because that I told them. I said that's why I had kids. I said,
Right.
"No, do you think I'm cooking today? No, she's gonna cook when she's not in." I mean, I
That,
call her. I say, I mean, she's gonna cook. Like,
you,
hey,
you,
mommy's old now, so mommy gets to see. But I mean, it's teaching them how to be good human beings.
right.
Bring to the planet. Like,
Another thing that destroys us to as people. Well, when your daughter says she cook and you give her a compliment, you're genuinely saying like, you know what I'm saying, you did well. But one thing we need to stop doing as people, we need to stop competing with each other.
absolutely.
Competing, it it
Mhm.
it it causes it's almost like religion. It causes separate.
Mhm.
It's like politics. It
Yeah.
causes it
Hmm.
just separates us
Yeah.
because now you could do something better than that person.
Hmm.
You'll consider yourself more superior to them
Right.
instead of you humble yourself and be like, yeah, maybe I could do a little bit better than him, but guess what, he could do this better than me.
Absolutely.
You know,
Mhm.
that's good
Absolutely.
sportsmanship.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
That's
that's how Natalie and I have been from the beginning, right, Nat? That's the
definitely,
Yeah.
beginning. Like,
the thing is this, we understand what our strengths and our
yeah.
weaknesses are.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
we are able to balance out each other where it comes to, our skills and
Absolutely.
what we offer. And I think one of the reasons why we tend to be in competition with others is because we're not comfortable in our own skin. We are not comfortable in who we are, because if you know that, okay, I'm a graphics art designer or a website designer, I might not be the best there is out there, but
that's what you do.
I know what I do.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So it's and once you are able to understand, who you are and what you have to offer, you don't have to worry about what the other person is doing or to compete with the other person.
Absolutely.
We need to realize, understand, if I find that there's someone that's better than me in a certain area, I need to learn what that person
from
does.
them. Exactly.
Learn from that person. Don't look at that person as, oh, that's my competition and I need to take him or her out. Because that's not really going to help us. And that's what the way of the world has taught us, that we have to step on each other to reach to the top.
To reach the top, yeah.
Instead of holding each other together, and let's all go together.
They always pit us against each other, especially as Black people. They will always pit us against each other. If one person excel in this field, they say, "What do you think if they were supposed to go at it? Like, why we can't just we just get along? Why we can't just be?" What you ever seen Bill Gates and Elon Musk clashing before? You ever seen
because they know who they are in their own field.
Absolutely.
And they're comfortable doing what they do.
Yeah, but they're just people. But they will never go, even if one does cars and the other one does computers, because cars need computers and and you need cars to drive, and cars need to be computers.
Right.
You never seen them clashing and say, "Oh, some Richard and I, hey boy, I know you talk to me." Like, you will never see that.
Right.
But only in our community, and we need to educate ourselves on things like this.
Absolutely. And I tell my kids that, I say, a wealthy person you'll never know that person is wealthy.
Never. Because wealthy people don't talk about their wealth.
Absolutely. They buy the most inexpensive car, they live modestly, but you give somebody who came from nothing, and they give them $100, and all of a sudden they go out and they buy, a $200 sneakers for that $100, right?
Because they don't know the value of their money.
Absolutely.
I have a friend, his name is Garth Vickers. He wrote a book called The Wealthy State of the Mind, right? And in that book, he talks about the one thing that separates the rich from the poor. And it's about your mentality and creating generational wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what the wealthy people do. They create.
Absolutely.
They don't just think about, for the now. What can I enjoy out of life?
Absolutely.
With my money. It's about generational.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's so true, because we in our community, we're not taught about generational wealth, because we so focus on all the things that I don't have and what others have taken away from me, that we forget, hey, you have something, you have the gift of life.
Absolutely.
Do what God has given you and do something with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's what we miss out sometimes.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, that is actually, did we spoke about that the other day, Natalie?
Yes, we had a conversation about using what you have.
A white person will actually break his ass just to make sure, say, yo, his kids, like, it's generational wealth is something that you have to make a sacrifice for.
Absolutely.
Right? It's like you have the baton and you're passing it on. Whatever your kids do from there on, they're saying like, yo, we can't be like whatever our pops came from, we got to set the next level, and we got to set the next level, and we got to keep that going on and on and on and on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things I thought about when I decided to do this whole company, because I had someone ask me, what is the group? And I took my son and I, actually, we have these deep conversations, like when no one else is around. I call him my little guy there. And we were just, it was like midnight, and we were just there talking, and we were like, we should do something. He's a producer, he writes beats, he does all that. And then I'm like, okay, my other son does marketing, international marketing. He's studying that in school. And then my youngest daughter is doing nursing. My oldest daughter is a doctor. And I was like, you know what? I want to do something that when I leave it, you guys can each take a piece of it and do whatever you want, right? So I did Credo's Global Group. And literally, I took the first baton, like you said, and I did the whole music management part of it. There's a part of it that hasn't been launched yet that belongs to my son, for him to take that and do the entertainment part, which is the producing, the, you know, doing all of that stuff. And it's not just, you know, because he does beats of all genres. And then there's a marketing section. I told my son, I said, when you graduate next year, guess what? You take that little piece and you do whatever you want to do with it. You don't have to work it full time, but it's yours. My daughter, if you want to do a healthcare part of it, where you're providing health services, that was my concept. I was like, I didn't have that for myself. I need to leave something for them to take, because you know what, people are so accustomed, Kelly, to working 9 to 5, and they will work. They think that to earn $100,000 working 9 to 5 is actually benefiting their family.
You're never
And
gonna make it that way.
and that's what I told people all the time. Even up to today, I had a police officer, you know, he stopped by and we were talking, and he's like, I remember when you hired me, and he's like, I can't believe you're gone. And he's like, and I said to him, I said, listen, when you get out in 4 years, I'm like, you need to start thinking from now. What is it? I said, you have an 8-year-old. What are you going to do when you retire? And he's like, yeah, but I have my pension from, you know, New York. I have my pension from here. I said, yeah, but I said, your brain, I said, the pension, you can't leave that for your son. I said, half of our pensions that we get, when I die, I know that my pension, they've already told me, my pension, like the city gets a part of that. My kids don't get all of my pension. So what do you think I'm doing now? I'm taking my pension money out. Up to today, I'm like, this is for when I'm alive. I'm not leaving it for anybody. What can I do with it now? I just, right before I came on, I had that conversation. I'm like, what can I do with that now? I said, I'm not leaving my money, but I need to leave something for my kids to do. And we weren't taught that. And we need what you're doing, Kelly, by doing this. I want to say thank you so much for, you know, it takes a lot for a guy to do this kind of thing. Have women on, strong-minded women on doing this. And I thank you so much for just taking this to another level.
I love my black people them first.
We love our black men too.
You know, see nobody go look on my post, them on my post. I always I try to encourage, uplift. We stubborn, but me not give up.
Yes.
Somewhere down the line, we are gonna get it. We know,
absolutely.
we know, but it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a little bit of push. And if they don't listen to me now, whenever these videos go out there, they're gonna say, "Yo, that nigga was spitting that real shit."
Absolutely,
you know
absolutely.
If the Chinese them stick together, why can't we? The Spanish people stick together. Why can't we? If the white people them can't keep everybody under control, why can't we say, you know, I'm tired of listening, we need to get stuff together. My wife even said the same thing to me the other day. She said, why do everybody have the same concept? Same thing you're saying. Them go work, then do a 9 to 5 and then come home and sit down and watch TV. Like, it's the
easy way out. It's the easy way out.
It's the world system. That's how
that's slave mentality. That's a slave mentality.
I'm sure something where white people them is when the white people them get all of them shit to get together. I'm not throwing no shade. You see them out the door 2 o'clock in the morning and cut the grass because they got everything already. They're so bored. They make business. They mow the lawn. They walk the dog. They say good morning to you, and you're like, just notice how they move.
Yes, it's the slavery mentality, and people don't realize that 9 to 5. And I mean, I was guilty of it because I did 28 years. Well, in one company, I did 28 years of it. I was working a lot younger, but it's slavery mentality. I show up for work, I'm gonna get paid. Right? You know, it's not, do your own stuff. What is the gift, like Natalie said, what is the gift that God gave you? You may not get paid for it right away, but I mean, how can you bring wealth to the world with
And-
that gift that God has given you.
And just as a kicker, Social Security about to drop. They about to get rid of
Listen,
that.
I know I ain't getting that, so I don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm telling
I'm not
you.
counting on that.
And by the time you get whatever that's left over of it, you're about to kick the bucket.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not counting on that.
Like people need to start thinking about that. But
Absolutely.
in what way did the COVID impacted your nature of your business last year? Because you know, Corona that built up the year before, and then it just do road all of 2020, and we're getting a little. I mean, it calmed down a little bit now, but like, how did you stay recession proof or COVID proof?
You want to go, Nat?
Well, for me, I think even though the business aspect of what I did kind of slowed down, because like for me as a graphic artist and design, a lot of my work has to do with other businesses. So unless business is going, it's kind of like hard for my work to really go. But in other areas, like I think God just really gave me a vision for other things, kind of like my writing academy that I started online. That was birthed during COVID. So it's kind of like, different. Yes, one area slowed down, but then God gave me a vision for something else that will open up another stream for income. And this is where it's so important that we have to learn, we really do need more than one stream of income.
Absolutely.
So that was like, and I was there was, other things that I was able to bring forth, like different books and different like workshops that I was able to work on and build on. And even now, I am about to launch a new product, a new service, with my new workbook and workshop, transition through crisis. It's a rebuilding guide for professionals where I give you practical steps and practical guidance how to, take inventory of who you are, what you got, and how to use it and move forward in life. It doesn't and we got to realize that we go through transition every day, every minute of the day, but we don't really prepare for a transition unless we find ourselves in a major
chaos, right?
But if we learn to prepare for a transition on a daily basis, then we don't really when that major crisis comes around, like like a pandemic that shuts everything down, when we're faced with being laid off from the job or health issues and stuff like that, when we have that that process, that workable system,
yes, absolutely, and bounce back, absolutely,
able, to just move forward. Yes, things might slow down a little bit, but you're still moving forward, and once you stop, then there's hope. So that's what that's how I was able, to be able to go through this whole, COVID crisis, and for me, I mean, personally, I kind of like laughed a little bit because I've always, even before COVID, I'm working from home. So when people, are screaming and pulling their heads out because they got to stay home, I just be laughing and smiling. Welcome to my world.
Exactly. I think bouncing off of Natalie, I think it was kind of the same thing for me. COVID came. It's funny because COVID came a week after I'd had my mastectomy. So I was already in a mode of thinking that I was going to have to take a couple months off just for my health, right? And then COVID hit. And then what COVID did for me on the business side is that it allowed me to pause and regroup. And I think beneficially so, right? I was able to now starting to select, as opposed to just taking whoever came. I started becoming a little bit more selective of who I worked with. I gave everybody, my services, but who did I actually take on as a client? It allowed me to kind of like pause and, and then on another level, it allowed me to expand, because had I not opened my mouth to tell people like, listen, now is the time for you to be opening businesses, then the questions came. How do I start? Where do I start? And I did my research. I figured out how to do it. I mean, Natalie had helped me when I was starting mine. I mean, and I thank you so much because she was the person I called. I'm like, hey, I'm thinking of doing this. What is the first thing to do? And I used the information she gave me, and I used that to help other people. So I think, like Natalie said, for me, it was beneficial in that I was able to regroup and bounce back. Financially, where the business was concerned, it didn't really affect me that much because, like Natalie said, I was already working from home, already was started, just a couple months before, but I had already started doing those things. So yeah, it just slowed me down for a minute, but it didn't really damage me or hurt me. I think I learned to be how resilient I was. I kind of had an idea, but yeah, business wise, I definitely bounced back pretty good.
Well, for me, how did I start it out? I think I just left. I was trying to do 2 jobs, and I was doing a lot of ding 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 with the truck, and they was like, yo, they fired me. And then when it hit, I was kind of unemployment for like about 2 or 3 months, and I was like, I got this shit. Got over that unemployment. I'm gonna just drive taxi and just pick up people, drop off essential work. I made more money.
Absolutely.
When this corona stuff was, but like when I came home, then my wife was like, yo, take off all of them clothes. Now bring that out.
Leave it outside the front door.
You gotta go over those.
But after a while, I just got with it. Like I just got with it. I was like, I got this. Like I just drove more and make more money and stack up on the food, and I already had my savings already. So if me have to pay for rent for a year, I could have done that. If me have to buy food, but throughout everything that was happening, I was like, why people fighting about toilet paper and napkin?
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Hey, listen.
I was like, y'all should be killing each other over the Lysol. But the toilet paper and the napkin?
Listen, I told my kids they were gonna have to do what we did in Jamaica, and then they're like, "Well, what did y'all do in Jamaica?" And I'm like,
that newspaper.
Go in the backyard, and they're like, and I said, "Yeah, all those white T-shirts y'all have, cut them in pieces. We got."
Get that newspaper and wet it up with some water.
Stop.
Absolutely. But I think COVID if people were to really look at it as the glass half full, I think COVID, while I'm not gonna downplay how devastating it is, because I mean, up to today, like, yeah, there's still resistance. I mean, it's still going on, but I think people, if they were to really sit back for just 1 second, is they learn how to bounce back. Whether it's from health issues, whether it's from losing a family member that you thought would have killed you, but it didn't. God gave you another day, right? So I think the whole COVID thing just taught us, like, we're really resilient people, and for people to actually go around and say there is no God after that, regardless of what you think, where the creator is, there's somebody up there. There's somebody up there, and yeah.
We're crying. They was like, take this away.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And it's not going anywhere.
I think if it all came down to it, one thing I like about island people, if America was supposed to crash for whatever reason, we could go back to our old ways.
Wait a second, hold on. We'd probably have to call you on that one.
Really?
Yeah. I had that conversation with my dad. I'm like, Dad, you shouldn't have brought us here as children. You should have probably made us grow up in Jamaica.
I would go back to our ways. Everything, like the people from the island are survivors.
Yeah,
they know to survive.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times people don't know to survive when they get put in certain environments. So, like I always said, even anybody that was in jail when they got released, they could have stayed home, because you in a cell. The only difference is now you're in your home. You could do whatever you want to do. But that was the only time I saw the streets empty. Like if I was supposed to go to Manhattan, that took me like 5 minutes. And now everything calmed back down. Gas prices is up. People's all over the place.
I don't know how you do it. They're
I think they almost got it under control for whatever it's worth. But rest in peace to everybody that passed, and anybody that was in 2020. They have actually seen one of the worst thing that shook the world, not America, the world.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
we have to be thankful for everybody that made it through and that's still here,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's still doing their thing, and it really shows that networking is where it's gonna actually be.
Absolutely. 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 Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
And one thing though too that people should realize that when it comes to networking, the person don't have to be in the same state that you are.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, the three of us are in 3 different states.
Faith
I was
is in
just about to
Florida,
say that.
I'm in Maryland, and you're
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
networking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's the beauty about technology and
Absolutely.
networking. You know, you don't have to be in the same state
Right.
where the person is.
Right.
You know?
Of
Yeah,
course.
sure.
That's how you have to look at it. You know, you can't think that, oh, I have to be able to meet with this person in person. No, you don't have
Those days are over.
at least for now.
I'm doing virtual coffees. I do virtual coffees with my girlfriends. I'm like, listen, you know, even my friends that are police officers, they want to, no. When are you off? We'll do a virtual coffee. You have your cup of coffee, I have my cup of tea, and we will
Just talk.
Zoom each other and we will talk, right? Don't, yeah, no. Yeah, you know.
Speaking of network, why did you guys decided to network together?
Wow, I mean, I think we've like covered that in like so many ways, but in like we said before, you know, that we realized that in order to grow, you need a community, you know, and there's no way to grow a business like word of mouth. It doesn't matter how much you market, how much you pay for ads, how much you pay for promotion. Word of mouth is still the best strategy for marketing, because once you are highly recommendable, then you know the opportunities will come. And we realize that, you know, yes, we do similar things, but at the same time, you know, there's certain things that, you know, Faith will be able to do that I won't be able to do. And perfect example is that, you know, Faith can do websites, no doubt about that, but she knows that I am more efficient.
Absolutely. Yep.
I know how to register a business, but do I want to go through all that paperwork and being online to do all of that? No.
I have no problem doing that.
No problem doing it. So it's like, I know where my tolerance level is, and she does the same thing. So it's kind of like, why spend 20 hours trying to design a website for a client when Natalie can do it in 5 minutes?
Absolutely.
So why spend 2 days registering a company when Faith can do it in half an hour? You see, balance is out. But when we looked at what we had to offer and say, hey, let's support each other.
Absolutely.
You know, and we don't look for anything in return other than referrals.
Absolutely.
I don't get any percentage out of anything. Anytime you get from
neither here. Absolutely.
Anything, you know, and we are fine with that because we understand we're here to help each other.
Absolutely.
grow.
Yeah. And iron, for me, iron sharpens iron. And, you know, I said the same thing, you know, when we put the thing up that we were together, working together, I had a couple people that called and said, well, did you sign a contract with her? And I said, I'm sorry, what did you get out of that banner? Like, did I sign a contract with her? Like, no, I didn't sign a contract. Well, what is your refer? I said, no. We're two business owners who are not ashamed. We're not timid. We're both strong women. And I mean, if I didn't trust Natalie, I would have nothing to do with it. Like, I trust her outside of business. I trust her because I got to know her as a person. She's authentic. And for me, it was easy to network with her because I knew not only am I going to be learning things from her, but like you said, if somebody sends me something for a web, hey, I'm going to send you over to Natalie. And that's what I done. I'm like, yeah, Natalie will be in touch with you and vice versa. So I think for us, it was easy because we're both strong, confident Black women. Like, I mean, I don't think either of us, We're not scared,
We don't
right?
compete against each other.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't-
We're not
Yeah.
catty. We don't do the catty stuff.
Because I think that comes from you guys have respect for each other. And as a matter of fact, this channel was actually created by her also, by Natalie. The podcast that I have is created by her. The Patreon, when the money I thought I'm doing it, no money pan. Yeah, is also
Oh, you
don't-
hiding your face. We need to see your
yeah.
face.
No. Actually, my whole platform, Natalie, did the whole thing, the show, the podcast, everything that surrounds this whole network. Natalie actually created that for me. And to be honest with you, if it was left up to me, I just hire a woman. I just like, because women could do pretty much anything a guy can do, and if they can't do it, they get a person to move that zone and get it done.
Hey,
You know
you know, it's funny you said that. The other day I was reading the Bible and I was thinking about Adam and Eve, and I was thinking, you imagine, when God was creating woman, he had to put Adam to sleep because he knew he couldn't bear that pain. But woman, the pain that woman
We
goes
do it. We do it. And I did all of them without painkillers too.
Yes, a woman could definitely deal with a lot of tasks,
Yeah.
stress. When guys get stressed, we break down. The woman,
Yeah.
she'll cry and she'll just, okay, I got to do this,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
she get back right into it. So
Absolutely.
we're blessed with brute strength, but emotionally, a woman could take on a whole lot. Like when it comes to tasks, getting stuff done, and like I said, if she can't do it, she'll find her a person that
Absolutely.
probably like
Absolutely.
her, get that done for her, and still take the credit for it. And because a woman is I believe a woman is capable.
Yeah.
A woman is always capable.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Opposite, may I have to give McQueens them a shout out. They get the job done.
Well, thank
But-
you.
Thank you.
We need to work better as Black people, and we
Yeah.
need to be consistent.
Yes.
Not just saying it, but we need to be consistent. If we can celebrate the president for the country, we should celebrate each other.
Each other. Absolutely.
We should celebrate each other being successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For
Our,
sure.
our priorities when it comes towards us as people is just not all of it is in the right place.
Yeah. Because everybody has this mentality, what's in it for me? And I don't know. For me, it's just like, I don't know. It's so much easier to just do stuff in the dark for people and without them even knowing that I did it. Like, I mean, and that's the way I've always been. Because I remember even when I was getting ready to retire, that was one of the things that a lot of the officers, they were like, Faith, who's going to look out for us? Like, and I'm like, you guys have guns and badges. You'll be just fine. Like, but they knew that in the background, like I was the one that had my eyes, like, I had my eyes on all the other stuff that they didn't have to pay attention to. And they also knew that if they ended up on my desk, that wasn't going to be a good thing. So they knew that for me, there was no black and white, but they knew that I got their back. And, and I think that's what people need to just be authentic. Like, if you're not genuinely that way, pray that God would help you to be that way, because to be is just, and just be authentic. We have too many fakers out there.
Yeah, that's what my wife always says. That person fake. They fake. They fake.
Oh my God.
What's one lesson you think everybody should learn in life? Natalie, you could go first.
One lesson I believe that everyone should learn is self-awareness. Because if you know who you are as an individual, know what makes you tick, know what you can tolerate, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, just understand yourself as an individual. then you will be able to do more. Because if I know, let's for example, I tell my brothers, they all can't wait till the day I get married. I said, listen, I know what I can tolerate and what I can't. I know what I can live with and what I can't live with. So when I make my choices, my question to myself is, am I able to live with the consequences of my choices? And when you know who you are as an individual and you can answer that question honestly, I think that no matter what comes to you in life, with the help of God and having that confidence, knowing, hey, this is my choice and I am willing. Because the Bible tells us, it's only a fool who goes to war and doesn't count the cost.
Right.
So
right.
if I am going to make a choice, I have to understand the consequences of those choices.
That choice, yes.
And, with that in mind, I make my decision. So self-awareness is very important, because sometimes we put ourselves in situations and we won't even know how we'll react when certain things happen. So, if you know that you are a person who will just fly off the handle when people talk to you a certain way, then you have to understand that, hey, if I'm going to be in business or whatever I choose to do in life, there are people who are not going to be able to communicate to me how I think I should be communicated with, right?
Absolutely.
So when you understand, okay, I know how I respond to certain things, then you guard yourself with knowing, okay, not everybody will communicate the way I choose for them, will wish they would communicate. So when you find yourself in that situation where that person communicating or talking with you in a way that you would rather not, instead of flying off the handle, you would say, okay, I can accept this because I am already expecting it to happen.
A fact.
For me, it's trust in spirit. Like I've had to learn, and it's funny, they always talk about trusting your gut. And for me now at almost 50, it's when I am really learning what that meant. It's just trusting my spirit as it relates to people, decisions I'm about to make, things around me. Just trusting my spirit. And if something doesn't sit right, don't force it. Just don't, because chances are you're going to reap not what you want. So just for me, it's trust in spirit. Yeah, just trust in your spirit, whatever it is.
For me, I think in order for us to break this broke stigma, and also one thing I learned in life, what I've learned is know the value of your money.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the value of your money, you'll never be broke. Ever.
You got to know where that penny go.
Absolutely.
Some people,
if I can't count my money down to the penny, I get nervous. I got to know where that penny goes.
Right. Some people mock you and say, "Oh, you're cheap," and they say, "Oh, it's $1," but I don't care. It's my dollar.
It's my dollar. Yep.
So if you want to call me cheap,
right,
I don't care. I'm not here to impress nobody but my damn self. So if we go McDonald's, or if we go I want a restaurant and it come to $99 and $1 left, I'm gonna need that dollar.
Yes, thank you. Don't be rounding off for me.
I'm gonna need it. And
I tell them all the time. Yeah, I can't owe you $1 now. I need my 2 pennies back.
The only way I'll leave $1 is if it's a mom and pops, where that's different. See, there's a difference when it's a corporation and it's a regular business. If it's a corporation, they got billions and billions of dollars. My dollar is not going to go no further than where it is.
Right.
But if it's mom and pops, and this got to be somewhere where I'm buying from all the time. So if I leave that dollar there, the next time I come back, that dollar is going to go towards my next purchase.
Something. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, no, the one thing I've learned is know the value of your dollar.
Of your money. Right. All right. Yep.
Right.
No,
So, on another note, what are the topics? What are the top 3 topics, in your opinion, to consider when deciding who to network with? Because some people toxic, and not everybody said they want to work with you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no.
Not every not every money is good money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Where that spirit thing goes is for me. Like I don't know. I'm at a place now where the negative energy, I just can't do it. Like I can't. My circle has become very, very small because I can't. Like with everything that's going on, for me, it's important that if I have 2 people around me, it needs to be those 2 people where we can empower each other. We can, cheer each other on. We can, I don't want when I call you like every day is gloom and doom. Like, come on, there has to be a day when the glass is half full. Like, is it all? And literally, I had friends like that. I would be scared to call to check on them because it's like the world is coming to an end every day. What did you do that today wasn't like yesterday? Absolutely nothing. I can't have that conversation with you. Like I'm not going to do that every day. You're 40 something. And if today, and I tell people all the time, I said, if today wasn't like, what are you going to wake up? If God allows you to breathe tomorrow, what are you going to do that's going to make sure that tomorrow is different than today? And so for me, choosing to network with someone is going to be, how can you guys sharpen each other? Iron sharpens iron. It's not about what I can get out of it, but how can we sharpen each other and make a better impact in the world? Like for me, that's it. Natalie's the first person I've networked with. No, yeah, that I've actually put out that I've networked with. There's companies that I work with, like radio stations and stuff, but to actually say that my company is networking and partnering with another company, Natalie's the first one. And it's because of her work ethic, who she is, spirit, no spirit. Natalie is who she says she is, and I've proven that inside out and around, personally, professionally. So it was easy for me to network with her. And I would say that to anybody that's going to do it. Make sure that at the end of the day, that it's a genuine relationship that's going to be uplifting to the world.
Fair enough.
For me, I would say the top 3 things that I look for when it comes to networking, it's like, Faith said, number 1, you have to have the same goal and the same vision for the networking. What's the purpose of us networking together? Is it because you want to make something off me, or it's just to build each other up? So you got to know what the purpose of networking is. So because you have networking groups out there that you have to pay to be a part of, which there's nothing wrong with that, but is that what you want to be a part of? Or do you want to be a part of something where it's just relationship based, where it's genuine? So you have to know what's the purpose. And number 2, your values. Do we share the same values? Because I know, my faith will allow me to do certain things, and according to my faith, I will not do certain things. So do we share the same values? I mean, you don't have to be a Christian, but you got to have some kind of value. What's your moral standards? Where is your moral compass in life? So those are the things that I look in. And number 3, character. Like Faith says, are you who you say you are?
Mm-hmm.
Do you portray the same thing privately as you do publicly?
Mm-hmm.
And these are the things. And it takes relationship to be able to actually see what a person's character is, because anybody can tell you who they are, but once you get to know the person, then you're able to really see, okay, they say they are this, but they really are what the people are. And those are the things that are important to me when considering, who to network with, because in everything, it has to serve a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I've never had any kind of networking, because everybody always say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, And then when it's
Never
time to
show up.
deliver, no show. I just be
No
like,
show up.
sometimes I just listen. When people talk, I like to listen. You know, I like to listen because
Mhm.
I like to see the action more.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the area that like there was this kid that was trying to do this back to school thing, and when he tried to do the back to school thing, he had a great idea. He wanted to do it in a park. He wanted to do some giveaways and stuff like that, and like nobody came out to like, okay, I see you have a great idea. I showed up to this one guy. I was like, you know, how you feel about doing XYZ? I'm about to show up. He shelved me, and I was just like, can't bother. I can't bother with these people. Sometimes I just be like, all right, man, all right.
Mhm.
It's just, it's sad that we don't have no kind of we can't support all of the foolishness, but we can't educate ourselves on how to, you know, build ourselves as a community, as people, you know, respect each other,
Mhm.
you know, just be happy for each other,
Absolutely.
genuinely. And it's not just only in the world; it's also in the church. It's everywhere. Sometimes
Everywhere.
it's even in your very household.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Right? That's something that I had to tell my wife too. I was like, yo, I was like, before you support anybody, we have to support each other first.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, and that's something that we worked on, and we got it. But
Mhm.
when it comes towards like people, like everybody say they gonna do, but you just never see
Nobody shows up.
the reality.
Nobody.
That's
Everybody's coming to the party. You prepare. You have it catered, and you're there eating the food by yourself.
Right. For a party, people will show up. Don't get it twisted. You have a party, everybody gonna show up because it's a
Right.
celebration. But when it's something that's gonna actually help people,
Right.
um, I always said this: if I was rich, I'd be broke because I'd be giving jobs out to everybody.
Absolutely. Me
I'd be
too.
trying to build community centers. I'd be
Yep.
trying to do the most when it comes towards our people, but our people don't want to help themselves, and if they don't want to help themselves, I just gotta stand aside and just let it unfold until they're ready, because it doesn't matter how much money I spend, how much I preach, what I say,
Right.
they're gonna have their way of thinking regardless.
Absolutely.
definitely.
Basically, I'm gonna be beating on a dead dog.
Dead
Like,
horse. Yeah.
It is definitely true, and I always tell people, I know, you know, it's good to have a dream or a vision for something, but and want other people to come along and support that dream or that vision or even a goal. But I always tell people, you have to be the first one to make the sacrifice
Mhm. Mhm.
to start. Then when, because people don't connect with anything that they don't see that is moving.
Right. Right.
So it has to be moving for in order for people to want to connect with it. So, sometimes, and I come to realize this is it's not everybody you're supposed to connect with.
mm, that's a fact.
Hold on. Drop the mic.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Can you say that again?
Yeah,
It's not everybody you're supposed to connect with.
that's a fact. It just
No.
it just don't work.
No.
It can't
No.
it can't be everybody. Some you gotta
Right.
let some of them go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If
And
they're
for me, that's something I've had to learn to do because they always call me, even at work, they used to call me the mother hen. It's like I wanted to save everybody. Like everybody, I was saving everybody. And I had to get to the point where I realized it's taking a toll on my health. It's taking a my mental well-being. It's taking a toll on how you gotta let them go. Like you gotta be able to just say, you know what? It was great knowing you. Thank you for the
in a respectful way.
Yeah, and that's why I say thank you for the time you were here. Thank you for the lessons that you brought to the table. But and do it like Kelly says, in a way where you can sleep at night. I still wish you God's blessings. I still wish that you prosper. I still wish that you succeed. But we just can't be in the same sphere. And
Right.
and I wish nothing but good for you. But
Right.
no.
You set them up, like you make
Yeah.
sure you put it together. You
Yeah.
give them the kit and be like, yo, take care of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Here you go.
Which brings me to my next question. How do you start up a business?
Go on,
Everybody wants to start a business, right? First of all, you need to know what is the purpose. You have to know why, right? Because Natalie will tell you, I'm sure anybody that has a business, if you don't know why you start the business, on the day when you don't feel like being there is the day that you won't be there. So I always tell people when they say, oh, I want to start a business, because everybody wants to start a business and there's nothing wrong with that. But what is the reason behind you starting the business? What is the purpose? What do you hope to get from this, And so I usually tell people, you need to know those things. Like, why are you doing it? You can't be to prove a point to someone, because I'm telling you something, if that were the case, many of us would just stop, right? So you got to have something that's deeper than, oh, to make my parents proud. No, like it has to be something that when you think about it, it makes you nauseous, because it's such a stretch. Like, it's such a stretch, because for me, it was easy not to start a business. I get a pension every month. Right? So for me, I couldn't say I'm starting a business for the money, because I get my pension. I've worked but for me, it was like, okay, it's something more that I can give. So I tell people your why needs to be deeper than what you're going to get paid.
Right. My wife always say that she does a lot of gym. She always say you need to find a why in what you're doing. I never understood that at first, but then like she explained like your purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Nat?
Oh, I mean, piggybacking off what Faith says, you have to know the why behind it all. And it has to be something that you are willing to do, even if you don't get paid. Because as a business owner, yes, so it's more beneficial for you, but in reality, when you just starting out, there are going to be days that you ain't getting no money. There are going to be days where you are doing you have to be able to position yourself to where you can become that person that people will go to. So sometimes in order to do that, you might have to start out offering your services for free. So it has to be something that you really have that desire and that passion to do, and to be able to provide a solution to a problem, because you might have a great idea that is wonderful for you, but why I want to start this business, does it actually help other people? What am I serving so others can enjoy? Because, I mean, when you think about it, you go to a restaurant, right? And even if the food doesn't taste as great as it's proclaimed to be, if they serve you and present the food in such a way that makes it look like it is the best tasting food you ever seen in the world, you are going to want to go back to that restaurant.
The Chinese cat, right? The Chinese cat food.
Because it looks so presentable, right?
This is why T-Mobile is bigger than, well, them got Sprint, them Bite, them one Nextel, and them what's them Techway?
Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile. It's true. Your presentation is key.
Yeah. I'm not leaving AT&T though. No, I'm just kidding.
Your presentation is key.
It's
Yeah.
important, and you have to consider, how are you presenting yourself? Because I tell people all the time, I said, I don't care how good the food is. If you serve it to me on a trash can, I don't want it.
Right.
But if the food could taste like garbage, but if you present it well, I'll be willing to try it.
Right.
Because it's presented.
Right.
I don't
Absolutely.
care what it tastes.
Absolutely.
If you put it on the cover of a trash can, I'm not gonna eat it. So your presentation,
So good. Right.
These are some of the things that you really have to consider
Mhm.
inside your business, and you have to think about, how you connect to people. Because every business
Right.
needs people.
People are lacking in that
Absolutely.
Every
department.
business needs people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
how
Not-
you're going to connect with people.
People are lacking in that department. And let me tell you something. It's
Yeah.
when you go mostly black establishment restaurants, them are selling, especially Jamaican restaurant, them selling the food with attitude. And sometimes you have to say to
Okay,
yourself,
so I thought it was only done.
That's
No.
not true. No,
It's not my fault you're at work.
no, listen, you left them more niggas in your store, they will run everybody outside.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing no shade. Look, I always say this to people. You say if you don't like the job,
Thank you.
don't even
Thank you.
try working there.
Thank you.
If you don't like it, don't waste your time.
Absolutely.
Just don't take the job.
Keep it moving. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? In order for you to like a job or you start a business, you gotta be passionate.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the only way it's gonna come
Yeah.
to a reality.
Yeah.
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 When nobody don't believe in it, you believe in
Right.
it. When nobody
Right.
don't see the vision, you see the vision.
Right.
When everybody speak down on it, you speak up about it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that's the only way it's gonna come to reality.
Absolutely.
Everybody will say it's not gonna work, but you know what you believe? You believe it's gonna work because
Absolutely.
you're speaking it into the universe, and you're speaking
Absolutely.
it into life.
Right. And
That's-
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the only way it's gonna come to fruition.
Absolutely.
But like me, I always tell people, so when I go buy food, me say, look, in a nice way, I came to buy the food, not the attitude. So if you're gonna sell me the food, sell me the food
Without
without
the attitude.
and one more thing, when me I pay for the food, give me what I want, not what
Right.
you want to give me. Because
Okay.
if you want to give me it, then you pay for it.
Right. Right.
I remember one time I went in a this Jew this Jew coffee shop, but the lady that was there, the Spanish lady that was there, she knows how to make the coffee, whatever, right? But the boss, it looked like him have two left hands. So I tell him, let me get a raisin bagel with jelly and with jelly and cream cheese, whatever, right? And I said, go light on both of them. And this guy, he put the cream cheese on it, right? And then put like about 3 inches of cream cheese. But me notice Jew people always like cream cheese and jelly, heavy pan and stuff. But me not like it. Me just want one shade of it, one shade of it light, right? So he might put on the pan it, whatever, right? And he's putting it on. He has an attitude. And I said, give me 1 second. I said, give me 1 second. Because now you notice when you get older, certain things you don't hold back, hold back. You just stay.
What you know about being old?
I'm telling you,
We're probably in your 20s.
However, I'm letting you know off the bat. Me not hold back. So I go and say to him, listen to me. If you're gonna pay for it, you make it how you want to make it. But since I'm paying for it, this is how I want it done.
And what did he do?
He was tight. He told a girl about it the next day. That's how because they're not accustomed to people telling them
absolutely.
what
Absolutely.
they want.
Mhm.
And I was like, listen to me, do it this way or you can eat it. But right now I'm paying for it. Take off the jelly off of it. Take off all the extra cream cheese off of it. And he did it.
Absolutely.
And
Customer is always right.
and not all the time. Not all the time. Well, we were good. That I think that's I think it's 50-50. But you
Yeah.
want to make sure everybody is in a good place, especially when they're
Yeah,
coming to your
absolutely.
business. You want their experience to be great, and you want to have a good relationship with everybody. You don't want nobody to say anything bad about your business or so. So yes,
Right.
but most of the time, business get destroyed because you leave irresponsible people in your business to run
Absolutely. So I do it by myself.
right. Because nobody is gonna do it like how you gonna do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because
And that's why I don't take on more than I can handle because, I mean, yes, I can have my daughter do this, do that, but I'm saying when somebody hires me to do something, they expect me to do it. So,
right,
right. So if I'm passing it off to someone else, and that's, and it goes back to the networking, if I'm going to send someone to Natalie's because I know that when I send them to Natalie, they're in good hands. I'm not going to send them to Natalie if I didn't trust that her work was going to be, almost representative of how I would perform. Right. So, so yeah, definitely.
right. The thing about it is this, right? Nobody is gonna run the business like you're gonna run it. And one thing people need to understand is this, right? You see, it's whenever you guys have a business and if your kids don't have the same kind of passion like you have it, because yeah, you could create a business, but your kids might not have the same drive that you have for it. You might say, "Oh, Mello pass it on to you," and they be like, "Yo, personally, I don't give a shit about this shit. I just do it just because she put me into it, whatever." So
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
think just because you create it, they're gonna have the
Exactly.
same kind of passion for it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So we have to be optimistic and we have to give them room to grow and
Absolutely.
and work with them. don't
Hmm.
don't force things on them that they
Right.
don't want.
Right. Right.
So what's one thing I asked that I should have asked in this interview, Faith?
What's the one thing that you didn't ask that I should oh
That one is
yeah, I know, because I think we covered everything. What's the one thing you should have asked me that you didn't? I don't know. I think we covered everything. What is one thing I should tell you
this
about me?
these are Natalie questions.
Oh, that's Natalie. Oh,
Yes,
okay. No,
she did a good job.
yeah, she did. Thanks. Yeah, Natalie's the let's see. What is one thing?
You
I,
want to process or you want make Natalie ask?
yeah,
And
Natalie.
build off of it.
Yeah, Natalie, tell me something about you that we didn't talk about.
Well, not really about me specifically. Well, put it this way: what qualifies me to tell you about business? Why do I believe I am qualified to speak to you about starting a business or even to empower you as an individual? See, I believe that, God has given me a gift, and that gift is not just for me. So whether I use it for business, for personal use, for ministry, or even for family, it is a gift. And with that gift comes responsibility.
Absolutely.
The Bible says, to whom much is given,
Much
much
is
is
required.
required. So when I understand that as an individual, and I understand that I am not just a representative of business or myself, but I am an ambassador for Christ. I am able to put myself before people in a presentable way, representing more than me. And because of my experiences, and because, I am not just talking about business or talking about empowering people is something that I do on a
You
daily
live
basis.
right, right.
So
Mhm.
because I am doing it, I can tell you what I have done, and it has worked, and what I did and it didn't work.
Right.
So with this knowledge and experience, I can say, hey, these are some of the things I realized didn't work for me.
Right.
That doesn't mean it won't work for you, but
Right.
these are some of the tested and proven theories or strategies that
Right.
you could try for yourself. And within
Mhm.
those things, there might be
Mhm.
100 things that I gave you, which 25 of them didn't work for me, but 50 of them work for you, 100
Right.
of them work for you. So even with everything, all my mistakes, that I made, you have the opportunity to learn from my mistakes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's one of the things that it's really important for people to learn. You don't have to make all the mistakes yourself.
Mistakes that I made. Right. Right.
You can learn
Right.
from someone else's mistakes, and that's
Absolutely.
how we take what we have to another level, by learning from someone else's mistake.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now back to me. Now, see, but that point didn't come across the same way that it was asked, right?
No,
Was
I just remix it a little bit. Put some little
yeah, that's fine. So for me, and I'll piggyback off what Natalie says. Everything that I do as a business owner, I make sure that it's tested by others, right? Tested by me. I will not you don't. Natalie says it right. I will not allow you to make the same mistakes I did. And I try to make sure that everything that I'm doing, there is a benefit to someone else why I do it. That is to say, 99% of the things I do, very rarely do I put myself, how am I going to benefit from it first? And so that's the one thing about, everything that I do is, so and I'll tell people this, if Faith sends you a message on Instagram or whatever, like Kelly does, and I offer to help you, it's not because I need anything from you, right? It's just because you were probably dropped in my spirit for some odd reason, or not odd reason, but for some designed reason, which is why I sent you the message, right? So never think that I'm reaching out to you because I expect you to be a client, or no, it's 99% of the time, it's a spirit thing where I can drop something, maybe just a little rock in your water, just to shake it a little bit to help flow a little bit better. That's the way I look at it. I might be that little rock that God just drop in your river that's been stagnant in your lake, and make it into a little river. And there's nothing for me. I'm the rock, so I'm insignificant when in the results. So yeah, that's how I roll. I'm a giver, and I get yelled at, by my spouse, by my children, because I give, and sometimes I turn the other cheek, and they have to remind me, like, you don't have to always turn. But yeah, I am naturally a giver, and not getting stuff back in return is, I brush it off. Keep going.
If I was asked that question, my reply to that would be, why una have all of the stuff them on social media? I wanna know and promote them. And if somebody come to you and say, oh, let's talk about what you got going on here. You got something good going on here. I'm not trying to get anything off of it. I don't want no money. Don't take my kindness for weakness, because I'll tell you how I feel off the bat. Don't go look for it elsewhere. I'll tell you myself. Feel me? But you have your stuff, and people are gonna kill you with likes.
Yeah.
And likes not gonna move that product.
Right.
Right. And only thing that's gonna help it is if it's being shared.
Absolutely.
Or if other people see it.
Absolutely.
Because the very people most of the time, the people in our wrong way, no right way. It's always the people abroad or so always take a liking to us before
absolutely
we start saying, oh, so the brother, the sister, the aunt or something. Oh yeah, so we did see it, but you never supported it.
Right.
So
right.
my thing is just Stop putting your stuff only on social media and keep yourself in this box where these people that is not talking about your stuff is they're not helping you.
Right.
Like sometime God will send somebody to be like, yo, check this guy out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you ask God for help you, if you're Joan, right? You can't expect him to just throw the raft into the water, put it on for you, inflate
Got to
it,
reach.
and save
Absolutely.
it. You
Absolutely.
gotta do something for yourself.
Absolutely.
So if
Absolutely.
you have your business and somebody is trying to look, you know the one thing I don't want to do, I don't want to pass on not talking to anybody and then that person they blow up and me say, you know what's crazy? I had an opportunity to talk to this person, but I fronted on him because I felt like I was too
Yep.
big for him.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Me not dep on a levels game.
Yep.
We're all the same. It's just some of us might excel different in
Right.
different fields.
Right.
So how can you guys be contacted and if people needs to inquire about what you guys are doing, how your business is set up or so? Damn, we've been talking for about over an
2
hour.
hours.
Almost
2 hours.
4 years.
For me, you just it's Credos Global Group, CREDOS Global Group, and that's the way it is on Instagram. That's the way it is on Facebook. And I will tell people, don't just like my personal page because I'm going to stop promoting my business on my personal page. So you need to actually like my business page.
That
That's
always
where I have all the
happened.
business stuff.
That always happened.
Everybody wants to be all up in the personal stuff. So
Yes.
personal stuff, you're going to get personal stuff, which is just like motivation stuff. Ain't going to be anything business. And that's something that I'm going to be doing. And also I'm going to be putting stuff on Kelly's page as well. So, because I'm going to be supporting him as well. So, I know you poured into us, and that's what I wanted to ask. When you're done, you got to tell us how we can support what you're doing as well.
Definitely.
No doubt. So you're on what's your Instagram, Porter?
It's Credos, CREDOS Global Group.
And your Facebook?
Facebook is Credos Global Group.
And you could be contacted by Gmail?
You can do my phone number. My business phone is 954-494-9203, or it's credosglobalgroup@gmail.com. I kind of keep it simple for everyone.
Okay. How long you been in the business?
I've been in the business. This is my second year.
Okay.
This is my second year as a company, but I've been doing this I've been doing this management thing, for almost 30 years.
And you manage artists,
businesses, individuals. If you need help starting up, if I have a couple of my clients that are not on social media, so I actually set up their social media platform and I maintain it for them because they don't have social media. So I set up a page for them and I maintain it. So if you're one of those people, don't let that be a limit to you not being on social media because you don't have a personal account. I'll set it up for you. I'll maintain it for you. You need help with an LLC, I'll help you with that. You need help if you're in Florida and notary. I am an online notary as well for the state. So I do everything that you want for your business. Natalie and I got you.
And Natalie, I see
Yes.
you have 3 books out. A 4th one in
4.
Mhm.
And I have the latest one, number 5, coming out. Is the workbook, transition and making transition through crisis, and that's coupled with a workshop set for the 24th of this month. So that will be March 24th. I am, launching that workshop and workbook that. To be able to help people, transition. We got to move forward beyond, this crisis that we're in life, being stuck. So we got to learn how to transition. So that's my project that I'm working on right now. For connection, for Instagram, my business page is Season Destiny LLC. That's the name of my business, Season Destiny LLC. For my website, it's the same thing, seasondestinyllc.com. They can either connect with me on social media or my website, or if they want to send me an email, it's info@seasondestinyllc.com. And my phone number is 202-813-7007. That's 202-813-7007. And I mean, if you go on Facebook, just type in Natalie, and everything that I do under Natalie will pop up. My business is there because I just try to keep it, all in one.
I like the website. You just pop out on it. Like I like it. It's cute.
Well, thank you. And you notice it's one of those speaking pictures, and the tagline in it is subscribes to be allow me to inspire you.
It's tough. It's like almost like a little 3D thing going on.
Yes.
Yeah, it just pops out at you like. No, it does. When I checked it out, I was like, yo, this shit is fire. I never saw anything like that before. Now normally you go on a website, you just look and it looks, yeah, okay, it's a nice website. But hers, when you see it just it gives you a little splash.
So now that you're gonna redo it, you're gonna, I'm coming to you for my website, right?
Yeah, right.
What I do, website, graphics design,
Absolutely.
I do, like help people to write and publish their book. Because a lot of people, they have an idea and they know they want to write, but they don't know what the process is, and how to get it done. And, with the Writing Academy, I take people through the process, and how to get that done. So, I mean, everything is linked to my website. My ministry website is seasondestiny.com. So even if you go on my business website, Season Destiny LLC, all my platforms are linked together.
Got it.
It doesn't matter where you go, you can always find me from one platform to the next by clicking on a link.
Got it. And if you're a friend of mine and you need Natalie's services, just DM me and I'll get you to her. Like if you're a friend of mine and you're like, I don't remember what she said, or, just send me a message. I'll hook you up with her. Like, yeah.
Yes. And same for me, anything, because I know a lot of people during this time, people want to start business, but, I know how to do it, but I don't want to spend the time to do it. Like I said, I know what I will tolerate.
Yeah,
I know what I'm comfortable doing. So, hey, if Faith has no problem doing that. So,
you guys, that free stuff is good and everything, but we have members who not provide service. So
we don't
I charge for my service. It's not free.
We charge for. Listen, there's an element to free. There's a limit to free. Like for me, I will give you a 30-minute free consulting call.
Me too. Right.
But
right.
Anything above 30 minutes going into an hour, you're going to be charged the hour.
Right. Absolutely.
That's what
I'm just learning that.
Yeah. You come in that car, we talk all the one, but after me drop here, I'm going to
Absolutely.
Come home, my gonna say, yep. All this time, and this will come home with.
You better go back out.
Circle the block again.
I know. Yeah. So Kelly, how can we support you? How can we support your vision and what you're doing? Besides you on our pages and stuff like that.
I'm gonna take your Facebook and your thing, and if I see anybody I come across that needs anything, by chance, I will definitely forward them to you. Natalie knows say if she have anybody that's looking for something that she wants, me will pass them on to her. My wife says she need some stuff done, so that's in the making. So she probably gonna need a website done. I'm gonna probably need you. You know, I'm gonna need somebody to do. I actually need somebody for spruce up my emancipate show look a bit. I
What
need
you
somebody
mean?
like
I was thinking about that because I was going to talk to you about it. You know, like how you sometimes you're watching a podcast and you see like the people's contact and numbers are all scrolling across the stream. And I was thinking that I need to tell you that, you know, we need to get that done because I mean it's not hard. I just got to get the login for this thing, the StreamYard thing that you're on, and just show you how to do it so you can actually set it up like that. You
all
know,
right, no
yeah.
problem. But we could keep in contact. I talk to Natalie almost every day, and
Yeah,
Facebook.
sometimes I have to tell him I have things to
She
do.
said, me tell her something today. She said, me tell her something about religion today. She said, we need a beating. But that's a different topic. But let's stay in contact, and any way we could network and help each other, if whether by reference somebody or if you have an artist or something like that, you know,
I
one
got you.
Yeah.
yeah, let's
I got you.
let's keep it tight like that.
Absolutely.
And we don't have to do business to communicate. You just call and just be like, hey, yo, my nigga, yo, you good? You know, a conversation goes a long way. Just to say
Right.
what, check in.
Right.
Saying,
Yes.
I just want to say thank you guys for coming through and talk about this wonderful empowerment. And we don't have to even talk about empowerment. If you guys have a topic and you guys want to chop it up and bring some more folks in, let's do it.
I got you.
Definitely.
I'm on my 8 o'clock. We do it. All right.
All right.
Yes. Thank you again for having
Thank
us.
you.
It's been a
Thank you. Thank
wonderful
you. Thank
talk.
you.
It's always good
Anything in
talking.
closing?
Huh?
Anything in closing from you guys?
How about you, Faith?
Just I would say don't let this just be about women empowering women. There's people empowering people, like you know, and women especially. I'll tell you this: there's enough cattiness going on. It's time for you to do something that's positive, something that's uplifting. You'll feel better. Trust me on that. When you change the people around you, your health will be better. Your mindset will be better. Your money is gonna look different. You know, like Kelly said, that dollar now looks like 100 just because your mindset shifts. Trust me. And I mean, it starts with just that one delete and one ad. You know, I'm just saying, it's just that one delete. You're like, oh man, and you just it's gonna hurt a minute, but when you do that one positive ad, I mean, I'm telling you from experience, your life is so much richer when you can pour into others and have people pouring into you. That's the best way to go out. Like when I go out, that's how I want to go out. You know, she gave all that she could to everyone that she could, and that's how I want to go out.
On a good note, Nat.
Well, I want to say like, to every person out there that is, you know, desiring or have a dream to start something, stop talking and just do it. You could talk all you want, but a dream is just a dream unless you start doing it.
Doing,
So you could talk all day, every day. Could you imagine how life would have been different if Thomas Edison only thought about the light bulb?
We'd be
Without
a candlelight now.
Think about it. I mean, something as simple as that we take for granted every day. But he said, I did not fail 1,000 times. I only found 1,000 different ways that it didn't work.
Right.
You know, so just do it. You know,
Yeah, just do it.
You might have to reinvent the wheel every time, but just do it. You know, just do it, because you're not gonna know if it's gonna work
until you do it. Absolutely.
So that's my advice. Stop talking and move.
Shut, like you're saying, Jimmy, shut up.
To my in closing, on a brighter note, is money there for everybody. Like everybody got their own thing. If all of we do the same content, it's 3 different views.
Right.
Different.
It's just what you like.
Right.
And we just need to just stop the hating stuff and just build each other.
Yep.
All of us could get money. All of we can sell clothes, and people can buy year one and can buy one shirt for me, they can buy one pants for me.
Right.
We
Right.
all can make money.
Right.
All of us can make money. We just need to just let all of that negative shit
Yes.
go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's just focus on building each other and stop being controlled by the white people. Yeah.
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 We're crazy.
He went there. He went there. Oh Lord,
Yeah,
he went there.
Let's just
Oh,
build
he
each
did
other.
it. He did it, Natalie. He did it. But it's his
Yeah.
show.
Let's just build each other.
It's his show.
That's all I care about. Let's just build each other and be like, yo, if me help Natalie, she go blow up, and if me help Faith, she will get better than me. Let's just stop worrying about that. If you have
Yeah.
good stuff,
Absolutely.
a wise woman tell me, say, I don't need to share your stuff. If your stuff good, people are gonna listen to it.
Absolutely.
And at
Absolutely.
first, I was like, her, but then I was looking at it, and I was like, yo, she's right.
She's right. Absolutely.
right.
And I would say to you, even you doing your podcast and stuff, don't look at the numbers, look at the quality of people, because I tell you something, you're doing needs to be done. You need to have those conversations that are just raw, right? Unedited, just raw footage, and keep doing what you're doing. Surround yourself with people who are empowering you, encouraging you. If somebody comes along and they need to be on the outskirt. I'm not telling you, but what you're doing needs to be done. And I'm looking forward to watching your shows and stuff. I didn't know about you until Natalie. She spoke about you. I never knew who you were, but we talked about you. Good stuff. And now I get to see, she talked very highly about you, but I didn't know who you were until today, until you actually said some things. I'm like, oh, that's who it is. So, you're good people. And if Natalie say you're good people, I got your back. So whatever it is that I can do on my end to kind of get you, your mouth out there, your word out there, let me know, because it needs to be heard.
No doubt. Likewise.
Definitely.
So
Yes.
yeah, take care, and I'm gonna get Natalie send me her information or social media and stuff like that, so I could add and no delete. Yeah.
Right. I sent you a friend request earlier. So you'll probably see one. Yeah, if you have to delete, if you're at 5,000, you got to delete somebody to add me. It's worth it. Trust me.
That's a fact. So,
that delete button is very powerful. People just
listen.
it
Let me tell you.
it
But
is.
that's for another conversation.
Oh yeah, we need to have a conversation when to hit delete.
Yes. When are we coming back on again, Nat?
Probably on. This week is kind of tight because I got I'm doing another conversation with Faith, doing her facial stuff on Thursday.
Oh, yes, I'll be doing Natalie's facial every month on Thursday. So Natalie's gonna come back and let you know how her virtual facial goes.
Let me join. I wanna chime in.
You want to
join the facial?
Yeah, I want to join the facial. I want to know about that good stuff.
I told Natalie today. I said my guy clients. Your wife is probably gonna smack you upside the head.
No. My wife said something to me the other day, and I'm like, why black people be rubbing shit on their face and ain't nothing wrong with their face? What are you guys rubbing away? You black?
No. What you mean rubbing on your face?
You guys have good skin. What are you guys rubbing on?
Okay, so like I told Natalie today, because now you just went on another thing, so I'm gonna just keep it real quick. We're not necessarily rubbing things on our face. When you wash your face, you open your pores. When you walk outside into the element, your pores are open and everything goes in there. That's why you break out. So for those of us who do skincare, we know that after we wash, you put maybe a light foundation or something to seal back the pores. So when people are spitting in your face and stuff, it doesn't go in. It bounces. It kind of like, right. So I'm going to be 15 2 months. And yes, I have good skin.
You do. But black don't.
But I make sure I don't go outside and make the elements hit it, bro. there's no facelift. I have never done a facelift. I've never done. And Natalie and I were talking today when I did my wash my face and all that stuff. And this is all day.
No, the reason why I said more, I would like you to explain it. And when you talk about it, I'm going to put it on my show because I'm a screen recorded. So
got it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even though I'm a guy, don't mean like I can't listen to what you're saying. I mean, like, that's what I was trying to tell the people. I'm like, you're selling all this stuff. Explain it. How does it work? What is it good for? When should you rub it on? Before bed? After bed?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm about to wrap this show up. Thank you for joining the Emancipate Show. I'm your host, Kel. Stay safe out there. No, you see, if you don't want to have good skin,